First, we made a promise yesterday to visit IEBC offices and have a meeting with the commissioners, although we passed the message through the media, and our explanation is simple, that we had already communicated to IEBC earlier in 4 letters which we made available to the media yesterday. Let it be very clear that we did not come here to IEBC in form of a demonstration or a protest, as some media houses have reported it. I think media houses are used to ODM always coming to demonstrate at IEBC offices. Today's meeting was purely meeting between IEBC and the leadership of ODM, the officials of ODM as a political party, a party that has fielded candidates in both in Kibra and 3 other electoral wards where there are by-elections coming up soon. So this meeting was consultative. We had a number of issues, and first of all I want to thank the chairman and his team, including the 2 other commissioners and the CEO, for having a very, very cordial meeting. We have had, I think, almost 2 hours meeting. It was a meeting of engagement, and we have discussed a raft of issues, one of which, the first one, key one, was the issue of the register. And we have come out with the way forward. Actually, we expressed our concern to the IEBC because we had communicated to IEBC earlier on the issue of register, and we were not getting good response. The IEBC has also accepted that probably there are a few things that they should have done earlier, so that this meeting would have not even been necessary anyway. But better never late than never. We are here, and we have agreed that the register for 2017 and the additional names, which are coming to about 333 new registered voters from 2017 to the time the registration of voters in Kibra was stopped legally, and then there were about 44 who transferred from outside to the constituency, and about 22 internal transfers from one polling station to the other. That information would be made available to us today, and not just us. All political parties participating in Kibra can access this. In fact, we have, this meeting is not just beneficial to ODM, even to other parties whom I see their leaders campaigning in the US. Yeah? They are also going to benefit from this. Even those who are campaigning for their candidates in other constituencies, instead of Kibra, they are also allowed to benefit from this initiative that we have had. Then the final register, which is being verified and will be approved by, or certified, if I may use the right word, by IEBC, will be availed next week, 18th. As a party will pay for it and will get that register. That is the assurance we've got from IEBC, and that register will be gazetted. Now, having addressed the register, we also talked about the electoral preparedness. I don't want to go into the details. I think the chairman, you have been very exhaustive on that matter. We also touched on issue of ICT. That again you have covered very well. The issue of polling stations, our concerns were that, one, there is no proper communication from IEBC to the voters regarding the change of polling stations for logistical reasons, and we have asked IEBC actually to make communication much better through maybe civic education. They have complained about resource constraints, but we have even suggested to them that they can also put banners indicating exactly where the polling stations have been transferred to assist the voters to understand early enough where they will be required to vote. The last issue that I think we have talked about is regarding the issues of electoral malpractice. Based on our statutes, the Elections Act, the IEBC Act, and even other political parties Act, we have complained about some politicians, political leaders, state officers using state resources, including state facilities, to campaign. IEBC has expressed that we have not complained officially, but we have also made it clear to them that we really don't have to complain. They have a duty as an institution tasked with the responsibility of ensuring the credibility of the electoral process to make sure that it is credible. And so the chairman has indicated very clearly that He will be there, plus other commissioners, even though the returning officer is the one who has the responsibility of running this electoral process and conducting the election, but they have an oversight responsibility to make sure that the whole thing is done, and investigation will be done. In fact, we were surprised that they have not assigned an investigator for Kibra. We thought even if the resources are so constrained, even if you have only one investigator, logically that investigator should have first been assigned to Kibra. But we take kindly, we take the response from IEBC that they are going to assign investigator, and the matter will be resolved. I want to just conclude that our concern was on transparency and accountability of this process. Elections are not just supposed to be free and fair. They are supposed to be seen to be free and fair. And that is on that basis that as a party we felt we had a civic responsibility to come to the offices of IEBC, which is a public office, and engage with the commissioners and the commission in general, so that we sort out and clarify matters that were appearing grey, and so that the people of Kibra, Kenyans in general, have confidence that their will be respected on 7. So finally, Chair, I've just been informed that some of our supporters, yes, who probably felt excited because we didn't invite anyone to accompany us, we are confident of coming here alone, but there is nothing that stops any Kenyan from coming to IEBC offices. I'm told they have been arrested. I don't know on what grounds. I don't think that is necessary. That needs to be sorted out. So those supporters are allowed to go and enjoy their life as normal Kenyans. They are where they are. Yes, you have.
Madai ambayo mlitoa hapo jana kama ODM mlikuwa ile swala ama lilikuwa tu jambo la kisiasa ambalo mlisema kule?
There are issues that we have registered
accordingly. There was an issue about poll officials. All poll officials who will participate in Kibra will be shared with the political parties through the office of the registrar of political parties, and if there are any issues, then those concerns will be raised by the parties accordingly. We discussed also the issue of ICT in these elections. There will be no transmission of results from polling stations to the tallying center. This transmission is, the law provides for transmission for presidential elections. And so here the KIMS kits will be used only for verification and keeping the data for verification and identification. But the other processes are manual, and they'll be handled at the tallying center, at the relevant tallying center. Those are the issues. And lastly, there was an issue about polling stations which may change. I think in terms of the school curriculum or programs, the returning officer, together with the directorate involved, will map out these areas if there are any changes, so that the voters are informed in good time. And the relevant banners will be put in place so that the voters will know where to vote in good time. And this will be done as soon as possible. So those are the issues we have discussed. And the Chair, I want to now hand over to you if you have anything else to add. Thank you.
That the Chair can answer.
Well, the procurement is a process. I believe you all know, for the Commission, procurement is entirely in the hands of the management. We have Director Procurement, very competent. We have Acting CEO leading the management team. And obviously they follow the due process in making that procurement, which of course is subject to both internal and external audit. So yes, there were other bidders, and I believe De La Rue was procured eventually for the purposes of these 4 by-elections. I just want to add that by procuring De La Rue, the commission, compared to where we were getting ballot papers before, the commission is actually saving taxpayer about 78% in terms of cost of elections. The cost of flying the ballot papers here, that's freight, the cost of duty, the cost of sending people to verify or check, and when they travel, they go by air. They also have their paid per diems to go to foreign countries. So all those costs totaling up together, we are saving the taxpayer about 78% of the cost, and that is I believe the commission in procuring De La Rue followed the due process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman, also as you asked with regards to some of the officers being too cozy with some of the political parties or political players that are involved in the Kibra by.
Internal as a commission, we have not received any complaints so far. It's only yesterday that we heard from the media, and today is when we have discussed. And I believe the party has said they're going to write to us. So when we receive the complaint, we shall address the issues. It's in the interest of the commission that the processes of elections, by-elections in Kibra and the forwards are conducted in a free, fair and transparent manner, and that Kenyans, the voters, should actually exercise their right without any hindrance or intimidation by anyone.
Being cozy is not an election malpractice. Campaigning using state resources is.